The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 5th day of January, 2022. Welcome to the second episode of the calendar here, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break. And based on social media yesterday, and news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy, it should be quite an interesting newscast. I'm just saying.
Listen, okay.
I mean, rising cases, hospital staff being hit, press conference by the police, which we're gonna get into. It's a lot, Sherry. I mean, I don't know in between your travels if you were able to catch up on all of it.
Well, I was, and I was just like, what the heck? A news conference?
Yeah.
More cases. I was like on my phone, like, what is
Schools
going
going
on?
in or not, and I mean,
staggered, and people stuck on I-95 and was it Virginia for 24 hours? Like, I mean, not there in Bermuda, but still, just it's a lot going on.
I'm gonna mind my business, eat my popcorn, and talk about, I mean, things that annoy people, I guess. You know,
so you just bring in Christmas dinner to every day.
Yeah. It's what we do. Call me the Don King call me the Don King of media, right? Good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today, as we have Tikka. She's coming by to discuss. You know what? She's coming by for a healthy conversation. How's that? For a healthy conversation.
Yes. Put some health energy over you.
Yeah. I need it, folks. I need it. Apparently,
yes.
Daily Play is guess it, don't sing it. So Sherry needs some healthy inspiration because we're not going to do that as 2022. She's going to get it. She will get the answer today, folks. She will get the answer.
Shady. Let me tell you about Jamal and his shadiness. It is real, okay?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, it's
we're
hot
supposed to be doing better in 2022. Well, it's cold everywhere else.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, you know what? The news did say everywhere outside of Florida is going to be hit by these winter blasts. I mean, you all don't really care about us when hurricanes are coming. So I mean, stay warm. That's our love. Stay warm. I'm sending love to everyone. Stay warm. But look, we need to get into something real quickly,
right,
folks? It's some things happening. Yesterday, someone in the comments did make a comment about the Madges List post that reflected someone's experience involving the police. Well, the Bermuda Police Service decided to have a press conference yesterday. Let me just state, nothing but love for the media relations team at Bermuda Police Service with Gary Moreno, Robin Simmons. I have no issue with the Bermuda Police, but they are way better than me, because I'm not responding to a post like that. People write, you can write a post about me any day. Trust me. It's going to kill you more that I'm not responding to you. However, the police are better than I.
It's not about you.
The police have to deliver a service to the people of Bermuda because they're being paid by the taxpayers' dollars. So much respect to them for having that press conference and actually sharing another side to the story. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, someone mentioned yesterday the story, and I said we're not going to discuss it at this point because we've only heard one side of the story. But a young lady had said that she was pulled over, and basically, the long story short, her car was impounded by the police because of dark tint, and she and her young baby were left on the street stranded. The Bermuda Police Service held a press conference. The most concise version is they said their body cam, oh yeah, that body cam, tells another story. Apparently, the body cam shows that the police had given her a previous warning. Something I don't think was mentioned in that post. The body cam also showed the police offered her a ride home, not only in a police car, but also an unmarked car, which was declined. Another side was that there were not just her and her baby, but there was a third person. Sherry has said this. I think you may have even said it yesterday about running to social media. I think you said that yesterday, Sherry.
I believe I had, Jamal. I believe I did.
But here's the challenge, folks. Here's the challenge for me. It's not that this young lady ran on social media, because at the end of the day, we still heard two sides of the story, and the question is going to involve the body cam. We've only heard from her. We've heard from the police. Somewhere in there is the truth, which is the body cam footage. My challenge to Bermuda, we spoke about what can Bermuda and Bermudians do better in 2022 yesterday. One thing, and it's very simple. It's so easy. Stop developing opinions based on one side of a story.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jamal.
Jerry, let me go to Twitter because I had to tweet yesterday. I got to do a good job of just sitting back and being entertained by Madge's list, right? But I went to Twitter and I said, this is my tweet. Some folks have a tendency to hear one side of a story and believe it. Not only is it dangerous, it's also irresponsible. It's as if we don't want truth, only drama and what satisfies our own personal feelings and or thoughts. We can and need to do better. Folks, seriously. So let me get to the question before you jump in. The question of the morning, though, folks, because there are still people who say, well, that's the police side of the story. Now, where's the truth?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is your question of the morning. Should the police release body cam footage? Unedited now. Go ahead, Sherry.
You're going to get licks. I love it. But let me say this. As I did before, you send in your opinions and so forth. There's always two sides to a story. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I want to see the body cam footage, but the fact that she left out certain parts of the conversation just on what they say GP, general purposes, you just left it out, makes me tend to believe I don't care what the body camera footage says, because if you couldn't tell me that there was a third party in the car, that you was offered a ride, that you declined, and I don't even care that you went to social media so much, but give me all the information and let me make an informed decision. I say that probably every week on this show. Give me all the information and so forth. So should the police release the body? For me, no. At this point, you didn't even give me all the information up front. Mm-hmm. So what does it matter at this point? I know this ain't part of the question, but to have a press conference of a tint's probably another show. And what you said dark tint. It's illegal tint. That's what it is. It's not just dark. It's illegal.
Perfect. Good point. Good point. No. And you know what, Sherry? As a former lawbreaker, because no, seriously, when we were fighting conscription, we were breaking the law, right? And I continuously say, I've said this with police officers on this show. When we were breaking the law by not complying to go to the Bermuda Regiment, there were consequences. Mm-hmm. We dealt with those consequences, and pretty much an entire country felt we deserved what we got. What shocks me and surprises me is the amount of people that continue to say things like, it's only tint, it's petty. Look, folks, I'm not here to defend the police. I have enough issues with law. Gee, I probably disagree with 90% of laws on the books because most of them were made in times when we were oppressed, enslaved, and whatnot. Let's just be honest. But let me state this. We do ourselves no justice when we start to nitpick which laws are petty and which ones aren't.
And let's understand there's a reason for that. When we have other crimes that involve dark tint and we can't see in the vehicle and be able to go ahead and make it. Let me tell you, I was one of those people here in the United States of America that got pulled over because I had illegal tint. And what the press conference did ask, and I think one of the journalists asked, do they have the devices that you can tell? Now, this probably was about 10 years ago. And the sheriff definitely slapped on a device on my window and would tell me, read this number. I'm like, 10%? Like, what?
Sounds like one of my grades in high school, but go ahead.
And she was like, this is illegal. And so forth. I knew right at that moment, so no, I know that's a part that's got to be fixed. Like they should have those things and not have to go through it. I was given a ticket and so forth. But come on, guys.
Sure,
like, yes,
but no, you make a great point. And just back to the question, should the police release the body cam footage? Now, Sherry says no, because, in this case in particular, there's already been, the full truth wasn't told in the original story. So no, let's go to the audience. Amanda Kelly, she says yes. She says release of body cam keeps everyone accountable. Shayna Smith agrees with you. Absolutely, Sherry. Michelle White says body cam is for judicial court, not the court of opinion. No, let the truth come out in court. Karen Simmons says the body cam footage for me in this circumstance is not necessary. Renee Simmons says we heard the two sides. Obviously, some details were not revealed. It's not up to the courts to see the body cam and decide. It's now up to the courts to see the body cam to decide how to rule. Gary Marino. Oh, I didn't pick on. Did I call him a name? I didn't say anything about you, Mr. Moreno. Hi, guys. Yesterday's press conference was actually not about tint. Rather, it was to dispel the misleading information contained in that post. Well, again, credit to the team at the Bermuda Police Service because. And look, folks, the Bermuda
Gary, Jamal chose the topic.
Texas. The Bermuda Police Service are paid by the people. It's taxpayers' dollars, right? They are delivering a service for the people. So I completely understand why they had this press conference. And thanks for clarifying that because people have said it's been going. A press conference for tint. No. Just like they did a press release against Social Justice Bermuda to fix inaccuracies, they felt the need to fix this. Let's be honest. Regardless of the community, the relationship between police and the people is important. It's important. So I understand that. However, I repeat, you're way better than me because me.
But it does set the precedents for what's to come next in regards to what's considered petty or what's considered to be needs to be addressed. And in regards to the Bermudian mindset, I believe that it sets the precedents on, okay, are they going to have a press conference about the children beating up each other or, you know what I mean?
But he just explained the difference though. This was not about children beating up each other. It was to dispel the role the police played in it. So
no, I just understand that. I understand what you're saying in that. The audience needs to understand. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay. Sometimes I think when we don't look deeper to what it is, then all we see is that it's about tint. And I understand what Gary is saying, that it isn't. It's to dispel what was indicated in the post. But not everybody's going to catch that. And it sets the precedents for other press conferences about different things that don't, what people feel like there should have been a press conference about.
But this isn't new. And that's why I used the example of Social Justice Bermuda. I forget what it actually was, but late last year, they had released a statement about something and the Bermuda Police Service did the same thing they did in this case. So this is not something new that's just being started. This is something that's ongoing. So when it involves the police have to protect their reputation so that they, people, their jobs to protect the people or the community, right? So they have to say, no, this is not actually what happened. This is what happened. And I think we need to keep in mind that there was a name of a police officer that was out there rolling around as well, and everyone jumped on this. Whereas the example you gave just now, if it was involving a fight with two young people and it didn't involve the police necessarily and the reputation of the service, then I don't think necessarily they would feel the need to have a press conference to address it, because it's not putting the reputation or organization at risk, in at least within public opinion. Right. But back to the question, folks, should the police release body cam footage? Now, I know a couple of people have said that no, it should be for the courts. I don't know what reason they would release it or not release it to the public. What I will say is that sometimes, I was taught this. I probably wasn't the best child, so I was told about, given a lot of advice on how to be even a good child. No, a better child at being good. But I was always told to remove all doubt. And I think that the Bermuda Police Service, in my opinion, if they did release it, it would remove all doubt. Though I don't disagree with what Sherry said. I completely agree, because if you come out the blocks not telling the full truth, then really?
And just leaving these pieces out, and leaving things out is still not informing everybody of everything that is said. And again, I want to stick to the question, should we release the body cam? But I can't help but think about all the opinions and the comments and everything that swirled this into such a negative energy. That's the part that annoys me. And everybody who is ready to say all of these things and I'm like you, Jamal, like I don't get the first phone that comes out, or anything like that. I kind of sit back and wait to, it comes out to iPhone 7 and what, okay, let me get it. We shouldn't be so fast to respond to everything, so fast to all of this stuff. Like, it's just.
But was it yesterday when the Minister of Transport was on and he said we live in a time where it's all about instant gratification? Yeah. I think it was him that said that. And I think it's a sickness in our society. And that's why, sometimes I sit back and I just observe, like, look at, I don't think I've ever probably once or twice I've commented on Madge's list, but it doesn't really come across me until someone sends me a link. I guess it doesn't come on my feed, and I read. And then I observe on Twitter as well. And I'm just like, wow. Was I this bad when it came to conscription? Probably worse. Probably worse. But I'm puzzled. I think the most puzzling thing to me, and folks, if you take offense, no apology given. The most puzzling thing to me is how quick we jump on things that we see or we're told. I'm going to be honest, Sherry. I don't care if I don't like a person. If you tell me something about a person that I don't like, I'm not just going to believe it because I don't like them. People don't like the police, right?
Yeah.
So because they don't like the police, they heard his story. Oh, yeah. Folks, I don't have to like you. That doesn't mean everything I hear about you, I'm going to take as gospel truth. We as a society have a sickness of wanting to be in drama every day of our lives.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're going to be in it, at least get paid for it. Charlamagne does. But go ahead, Sarah.
No, I agree with you in that sense. Like, and that's how I operate, period. If you haven't done wrong by me, you are still at the starting line, and we still will continue on whatever conversation, relationship we have until you do wrong by me differently. I don't always listen to what everybody says, but I take note, Correct. And then it's, again, I had a friend of mine who posted something on Marge's list about some dogs that ran wild. People are so focused on the fact that she had the wrong breed rather than the fact that the dogs were running loose. It was like, it was 110 comments.
Can I say that was a funny post though? It came in a private chat. It was a funny post, but I agree with your point. Like it wasn't about like legit. Folks, look over that. There's dogs running loose on North Shore. There's children in the area. Get help. Find the dogs. But it was funny.
It's my best friend now. Watch it.
It was funny. Straight up. It was funny. I'm like
110
that's something
comments. Really?
No, I ain't gonna say my wife would do. That's something somebody I know would do. Yeah, I got the wrong dog. Yeah, it is in the chat group. She is funny. It was funny. But I agree with your point about it. Folks, we lose focus so quickly. That's Shara's point. Like, we lose focus so quickly, and we have to do better. We have to do better. Like, and just using your friend's example, is she was trying to help,
right?
She was trying to help, and I think with the Bermuda Police Service, you know, and this is not to tear down Madge's list, because there are people who go on this list who actually have good feedback. There was one yesterday about an American Airlines agent who done really well for a customer. Right, a traveler.
Yeah.
What we tend to, and someone brought it to my attention yesterday morning while we were on air. Look how much feedback a post about drama gets versus a post about helping someone or a good deed. Right, we are drawn to this kind of stuff, and even personal lives. Like, you know, we post every day. Think about it. I even think about it sometimes. Twitter literally is us talking to ourselves, hoping that someone responds to us. Twitter literally is standing up, talking to yourself, and hoping someone responds to your thoughts. This is a sickness. This is a sickness. Guilty, but sickness.
Not guilty.
Think about it, right? All right, let's go to the audience before we take a break. Should the police release the body cam footage? What's the question? Amanda Kelly, and James Birch for you, Sherry.
Knowledge is power. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. We fall for anything when emotions are involved. Maybe the lady in question should have the option to choose the release of the footage. If she says no, that means something. If yes, there may be more truth needed. I like how you're thinking, James.
I hear you, James. I hear you, bro. That would be interesting.
Detective.
Mind you, I'm not quite sure we should be giving her that power, but I definitely see your point. Kathy Brumby says, after it goes to court, the cam can be released by BPS, in my humble opinion. We have Shanna Smith says, y'all are on point with the dialogue this morning. I saw the initial post and the comments and kept right on scrolling because I knew the story was being skewed. Yeah, sounds about right. And Shana Smith says, we've seen it time and time again, and people still fall for it. Sheeta Godwin says, people need to be taught empathy. All right, let's bring Leanna in. I'm not sure Lee wants to touch you on this, but I'll ask her because good morning, Lee. How you doing, sis?
Good morning, guys. You know what? I think I might refrain from speaking on this subject. And I'm just gonna wait for the comments.
Really, you know, honestly, it's an interesting one, and I'm speechless as to how we can even take a neutral position. In this situation, I just think, you know, Sherry, you spoke about accountability yesterday. We just need to do better, not just in what we do, but how we respond to what is done. Right. Before you go to the news break, Lee, I just want to remind people the giveaway. If you missed yesterday's letter, you have to go back to yesterday's episode to see what it is. If you need the instructions, wait until after the news break and we'll give them to you. How's that? Yeah?
Sounds good.
I forget what the second letter is. Any of you remember?
Oh, wasn't told.
We don't have that information.
Well, while Liana's doing a news break, I'll look for that. And don't forget, Tikka's bringing that healthy energy for us after the news break, folks. You don't want to miss her. She responded to an email yesterday, and I was like, I felt her energy through the email. Like, made me feel good about myself. And I haven't even really had a conversation with her, but she is a ball of energy. So we're gonna go from good energy, Leanna, to good energy, Tikka. How's that?
Loving it.
Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamel and Sherry, and good morning to all of those who are tuned in with us today. I hope you all are having a great start to your day. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Just when we thought 2022 might give us a slight glimpse of hope for the upcoming year, not only has the island reached more than 900 active cases, it was revealed there is yet another coronavirus variation on the horizon. Now, health officials yesterday noted that more than 500 new cases of COVID-19 were logged in the latest test results, pushing the number of active infections to 912. However, there are just 2 people in hospital, with neither of them in intensive care. Now, of the new cases, 176 were classified as from overseas and 113 were on island transmissions. The sources of the other 227 cases are under investigation. Now, hospital staff are said to have been hit hard by the highly contagious Omicron variant, according to the Bermuda Hospitals Board, as they have confirmed that 25 of their staff are off work and are said to have been infected with the strain. Now, services, however, have not yet been affected, but a spokesperson said that they do anticipate they'll experience staffing pressure if the rate of infection with Omicron follows the same pattern. The BHB do say, however, they are prepared as every precaution has been taken to protect staff and patients. Meanwhile, according to a Fox News report, a new variant has been detected in France and is making its rounds in Europe. The variant has been named IHU, and health officials say they have found there are 46 mutations. According to the report, that it is even more mutations than there were found in the Omicron variant. In other news, 24-year-old Raheem Ray appeared in magistrate's court yesterday, charged with killing island footballer Osage Bascom on December 18th last year in St. George's. Now, Ray was not required to enter a plea, as the case must be heard in the Supreme Court. Senior Magistrate Juan Wolf remanded Mr. Ray, who is from Devonshire, in custody and adjourned the case to the next Supreme Court arraignment session on February 1st. And the Ministry of Education confirmed last night only a handful of public schools will be opening their classroom doors today. A spokesperson said there would be a staggered opening of schools for term 2, with no middle school or senior schools opening, as parents and pupils awaited coronavirus test results. Now, she added an overwhelming majority of staff took part in testing to return to work today. Acting Education Minister Tanae Furbert said that the decision to open schools came in at 4 p.m. yesterday, after staff at the Molecular Diagnostics Laboratory had worked tirelessly to return test results. So far, the MDL has reported that all clear results from teachers and staff testing last Sunday had been sent out. All teachers and staff who got clear results yesterday were expected to report to work today. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 70 and a low near 67 degrees. We'll see sunny periods with a risk of a few showers. High pressure will move away to the northeast, therefore allowing a weak warm front to move through this evening into early Thursday, with periods of light rain, then partially clearing towards Thursday afternoon while becoming warmer. Now, Friday looks to be mild and windy ahead of a cold front, with showers that develop Friday afternoon and evening. That's all for our Daily Hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. But before we go, here's a warm message from your favorite community pharmacist. New year, new you. We can all agree that 2022 is shaping up to be 2022, but it doesn't have to be. Remember, to a large degree, you are in control of your health. It all comes down to the choices you make for yourself: water versus soda, eating the rainbow versus fast food, finding healthy ways to manage stress versus unhealthy, short-term but harmful solutions. Your People's Pharmacist is here for you in sickness and to maintain your health. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Lee.
I like that.
You like that, Sherry?
Yeah, I did.
That was a
And
great
sickness,
tips, right?
yeah, and sickness and maintaining in health. I was like, oh, I get that.
Go, Tamara. She is on point with the tips this morning.
Yeah, I do like that. What is your
what happened?
No, I was her looking for the letter, and now you're making me feel guilty that I heard New Year, New Me, and then you guys just. You know what? I felt like I was being thrown under the bus without you guys trying just now because I'm like, oops. So that said, Lee, before you leave, so I remember the letter. So today's letter. So should I just explain how the game works before people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So folks, if
get your word.
So here's how the giveaway is working. You'll have to tune in every day. We're live to hear what letter is being given at a different time each day. So you have to use the letter to determine what words make up the overall phrase that you'll have to figure out. Once you believe you've guessed correctly, you have to go to our website, thedailyhour.com, fill out the contact us form with your name, email, and put the answer where it says message. Please note you must be a subscriber on our website to be eligible to win the $500. All right. So does that make sense, folks?
This is a little like Jeopardy, right? When they spin the thing and they guess a letter, right? And then they have to put the phrase together.
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. I don't even know how Jeopardy works. I just know Wheel of Fortune. But come on, Lee.
For my time.
Who is wrong? Leanna Lambert.
You're something. So look, today's letter is going to be E. All right. E is the letter today, folks. E. All right. Can I just say, Sherry came up with this game. So if you guys have trouble with it, E as an echo. E as an echo. So that's going to be.
He never disappoints for throwing us.
Well, the thing is, before it was like Sherry and Phil. No, it's like, no, it's definitely Sherry.
It was one of them. I can't remember, folks. One of them came up with it. But Lee, you just to let you know, even though you may guess it right before the phrase is finished, you can't win. All right. So we're
killing the girls' hopes and dreams so early on in the year.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lee. I'm sorry. We'll reward you in other ways. You know, you're the best in the game. All right. So Lee, no, we're not having a show tomorrow, so we'll see you on Friday.
See you guys on Friday.
All right. Check you on Friday. All right, folks. As I just stated to Leanna, we won't be live tomorrow, but we'll be back on Friday. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with a healthy conversation. I just love the way I put that together. I thought of that myself, you know.
Commercial.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
We're Spotlighting, a Bermudian company who produces staple foods and other essential products that are integral to our Bermudian way of life and are surprisingly affordable. Bermuda's Best products started out in the late 90s with Bermuda's Best Codfish, which definitely got your attention. Then came Bermuda's Best Mayonnaise, matching the heavy hitters in flavor and true to the Bermuda Best formula, low in price. Further diversification has ensued, resulting in the inception of Bermuda's Best Concentrated Laundry Detergent, a special feature this month. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
All right, welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We're about to have an extremely healthy conversation with Tikka. Folks, I first saw Tikka on the Good Day Bermuda with Jackie and Terry. And I honestly hadn't seen anyone on that show who made me want to be better, live better. Something she said, and it's kind of funny, and it's funny. She is like, yeah, who wants to go on the toilet and be straining to push something up? It was funny, but it was so like, when you have a healthy diet, like I'm fasting right now. I'm 5 days into my 5 days into my fast, and it really does make a difference when you're putting only healthy foods in. So I love speaking to people like her, and without making her feel more uncomfortable, let's bring her into the conversation. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. I'm just giggling and just taking in your light. That's it.
Aww. Jamel has a light. I love that. I'm glad you can see.
The fire is very present, but the light is evident as well.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you for coming on. We like I said, I saw you on Good Day Bermuda, and I've done some reading as preparing for this show. I've read some of the things you've done, and I'm going to be following you because I like what you do. Like I always tell people, I'm not on social media to, as I mentioned earlier, follow people per se, but follow ways of life, things that inspire me and motivate me. So that said, I just want to go back a bit because you actually had a career as a physiotherapist, right?
Mm-hmm. I sure did.
You left that because it wasn't fun to you anymore. Just explain to people, as we're at the beginning of the year and so many people set goals for themselves, professional, personal, why is it so important to ensure our happiness and mental state is always front and center?
You know, it's what we are, it's what we exude. And, you know, for me, I started to put on my palette and just put in kind of my everyday going and comings, kind of those things that I want to permeate into the world. I know that my currency is energy. I know that people may like a few things that I do, and you know, I welcome those things, but I know that the base of it is energy. And of course, it's always said that, of course, what you put in is what you can exude. And it's very important for me to have a pristine, very clear energy, even though it's masked with humor and things that people find entertaining. I think the underbelly of my message is exactly that, is to make ancestors proud and to understand that, you know, energy is just mainly the currency. So it is everything. You know, if I can say that 1,000 times, it's everything.
Indeed. I love it. And talk to us. You know, you made a huge transition. You transitioned into, you ventured into food. Just tell us about that transition. Why? How? Just give it to us.
Yeah. I was I am so grateful for the career of physiotherapy. It has primed me to be a mother. It's funny because you don't go into any career or any particular endeavor in life saying like, this is exactly what it's going to be for. But, you know, when baby girl's not feeling well, it's about postural drainage and doing all of those things. But also I saw the worst of it. I would go in to see a patient and Mr. So-and-so would be gone the next day. Why? Because he was persistent with cheeseburgers, right? He was a beautiful man and he touched many lives, but he was persistent with the things that created cloud, not only in his mentation, but also in his gut. And so for me, it became extremely easy to say, you know what? It's about this one life as I know. And it's about being able to, if I don't meet my dream and paint the world of my dream, I have done everything and everyone before me a disservice. And so it became extremely easy. And my belief is that the creator will make it as uncomfortable as he or she needs to in order for you to shift, right? Because that's the only way that we feel it. And so the shift, it was very easy. Of course, the journey has not been easy, but for me to say, Tikka, listen to kind of that inner voice and listen to what the creator is saying, it was like, okay, thank you so much for my time, and it's time for my time.
No, this is beautiful. Just so we often hear about people speak about food as it relates to physical appearance, right?
Right.
But how does the impact of food, like how does food impact our mental state?
Oh boy. I'm going to speak about two things if possible. I'll try to make it as short as I can. I was a person, people don't believe this, I don't know why, but you know, I was a person that was like coffee roll, like give me the extra eggs with the extra cheese. And you talked about the strain on the toilet. And like one thing about me is I'm extremely forthcoming about like what is real. The strain on the toilet, it ain't cute. Like it's not cute. It didn't make me feel moved in a way that I could reach people. And so for me, it became about, okay, well, what foods can I put into my arsenal, my body, that I could properly deliver my message? Because what we don't realize is what we consume. You guys talked about media, the Twitter. I love your comment about, you know, it's kind of like that, please accept me, you know, that whole conversation with you and you, right? And so it's all about what we consume, consummation, whether that be the physical foods we're eating, kind of the conversations we're having, what we're putting out into the world. So for me, it became very, very easy to say, dairy, sugar, bread make me strain. So let's reel back from that. And also when you practice yoga, which I practice daily, if you're heavy, you can't come off the ground that far, right? So it was about saying, let me just align and let me kind of not listen to the cloudiness of the world, but kind of journey inward and figure out kind of what is for me. And the beautiful thing about connecting with energy is that it guides you. It's extremely effortless. I always say energy is about rowing. Energy is about sailing and not rowing. So then once you're aligned, the foods, the choices, the meals, they come to you. Everything that you need comes to you. It's like putting up your sail as opposed to rowing upstream. It's extremely easy when you align with it.
The energy.
Miss Sherry, I'm trying to hold it back.
Miss Tikka, you have a beautiful young lady that is just, a beam of light of who you are, right? The image of who you are. How has your healthy living impacted the way that you have raised her? Because I see her doing her little yoga poses and stuff.
Baby girl, honey. Well, I'll talk about one thing quickly. So for Christmas, for me, it's about, again, energy as a currency. So when I go to family events, it's all about what's the spread, what's the food gonna be, sneaking those veggies in as much as I can. It's like I'm a delinquent when it comes to that, right? And so for her, I want it to be about what I leave in her, what I dress her in terms of her spiritual backing, her energetic backing. And so for me, for Christmas, it was like the gift that I would like to leave in her is movement and of course energy and health. And so I bought her first yoga mat because she doesn't like to share mine, which is actually mine, but she doesn't like to share. And I bought her a gymnast, kind of like a gymnast ensemble, because she'll be starting gymnastics in this month. Right. And so for me, it was about saying, when Emmy is 20 years old and she thinks about what grew her, it'll be the fact that she's not ripping open gifts haphazardly, but she got the one gift that said, this could be you painting the world in your dream. And this is you saying that movement is medicine, which is another thing that I learned from physiotherapy that I love. Movement is medicine. And I think when we step away from that, we realize how hard it is. Why is it that kids can do amazing things with their body and they've had less time to actually tread the earth? Like, have you thought about that? Well, it's because that they're not distracted. They know their mandate. They eat on time. They sleep on time. And I've learned from my daughter, actually, who is not even 2 yet, exactly how to be focused. If I want to get up at 5:30, because winners do that. Some people get up at 4, some people maybe a little bit later. But if I want to do that, how do I learn from her that discipline and that perspective to say, I'm actually going to advocate for my purpose when it comes to health? So when it came to Christmas time, it was like yoga mat, gymnast. She's been eating the poached salmon with the, blueberry reduction and, all of that. And she grows on me for sometimes, don't get me wrong, but it's about saying that I want to be able to leave in her and with her, whenever it is my time, wellness, because that is what propels people, specifically of color, into that beautiful place of winning, which is what we deserve.
Just looking on your Instagram, and I'm on your Instagram, got you on WhatsApp now and all of that, and I see all the food that you make, and I'm just like, what is that? I want to eat it. So you make healthy eating look so fun. What are some of your fun dishes that you like to make? And are you particularly all vegan, or are you just array of different areas?
Absolutely. So actually it'll be a year now. Again, when my daughter came, she just bit me into shape, man. Usually people say, like, after they have children, they're like, just what is life? And you do feel like that at times, but when Emmy came, it was like, you know what, if you want to be of pristine, clear mind to be able to deliver a message, maybe I don't need to inoculate myself with beverages that help me not to remember things. Like, if I want to have a conversation with Sherry and enjoy this experience, I probably want to remember it, and I probably don't want to be hungover and cloudy. Right? And so for me, last year it was like no alcohol, which was so easy. It's no thing. And then I came off the chicken. I've never been a beef person. Sugar, I came off the sugar for the most part. If I want to have something sweet, I'll try to do like a vegan item, which still has sugar, but it doesn't have the dairy. So I'll treat myself for maybe a piece of chocolate. But it was the sugar, the chicken, and a lot of like the breads and like the gluten and stuff. And so I do eat fish. I do enjoy fish, and I'm going to enjoy it until I'm ready to give it up. I'm not with the trend of like, I am such a proud vegan, and like it doesn't sit with you yet, right? So for me, it's like
Right.
I still do my fish. I love a whole piece of fish with like a nice banana leaf, beautiful, roasted maybe. But yeah, so for me, it was just those things that I felt polluted my body, which for me, definitely the dairy, the sugar. Well done, Jamel, on your 5-day fast. Like that's epic. And so for me, that's kind of what my diet looks like. A lot of colors on my plate. Like, don't give me a boring meal because I will politely slide it back to you and be like, I'm not eating. I don't like boring meals. I don't. That's against my religion. I like my religion is absolutely vibrant food that moves, that gives you a vibe, that makes you feel sexy, that gives you a
Yes.
family life. Like, don't give me no piece of boring fish and like I'm a sprinkle a little something like that.
I'm
Love it.
definitely have you come and cater a meal for me one day. But
Oh, I
many
would love
people have
that.
traditionally used the new calendar as an opportunity to exercise
Oh,
and eat better.
absolutely.
As one who
Absolutely.
has mastered eating and living a healthy life, what advice would you give people so they remain inspired to stay the course, me included? And also let us know about your not so sugary nuts as well.
Sure. I will do I'll talk about the not so sure and just because I want to actually focus more on that health perspective. Yeah, so not sharing is the thing that you have when you've been fasting for 5 days and like you make this trim and you feel empowered in yourself and you say, you know what? I deserve just a tad bit of sugar on that palate, just on this one day of February, maybe on the 14th, maybe you and your honey, I don't know. But it is absolutely my dream, and it has rendered me with patience, just being able to understand the process of candy making, because candy making, although I don't eat it, it has been extremely therapeutic. And so not sharing is similar to like a candy nut that you'd find like on the street, which I love that rustic quality of them. It's all about the coating, and I offer 2 flavors: a salted cake batter, as well as spice sugar, in cashew, almond, and peanut, and they are being sold at certain places. I won't do that because I know about promo. So they're sold at multiple places. You could always go on my IG to find out where. But what was your other question, Sherry, about?
And about just resetting and starting for the new year.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is some advice would you give people so that remain inspired to stay the course?
Absolutely. So the beautiful thing about being in this space and being able to create, in the kitchen and being blessed with this experience is that I said to myself, the old me last year that I shared, I said, when I move into this space, because I knew it would come to fruition. I didn't even have the kitchen yet. I said, when I go into this new space, I want to be able to listen to philosophers all day. And here I am, guys. Like I got to listen to, as I said, Eric Thomas, who's one of my favorite, Les Brown, and Bob Proctor, and like so many different philosophers that tune me in. And one of my particular favorite quotes, I think, of the month is by Earl Nightingale, who was probably born, I think, during the Civil War or something like that. But his work still lives on. His life has outlived him, which is what we can all dream of. And he said, "We are not what we think we are, for what we think we are." So, and you have to think about that. Like, what does he mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not what I think I am, but what I think I am. So when it came down to, health as, in that perspective, it was my thoughts need to be healthy. How I approach food needs to be healthy. My interactions with people need to be healthy. And for those that I can have healthy interactions with, that I need to restart right quick. So I'm a firm believer in my new year can start in January, but it can also start in August. So for people who are listening, let your new year begin anytime you need to shed what doesn't serve you and come into what does. So New Year, fine. We're in January. It's very trendy to do it all now. But if February, you need to like wheel and come again. Wheel and come again in March. Wheel and come again in April. Wheel and come again in September. Because guess what? The way that you interact with the world and the earth and the people who occupy it has everything to do with how much you enjoy it. So if you're not here to enjoy it, then give up.
Wheeling come again.
I want to go back to you said that you had weaned off a chicken, you had never been a beef person, alcohol as well, and I'm be honest, I have this tendency of quitting things. In the 90s, I actually stopped eating beef and pork back in the 90s.
Wow, before it was trendy.
Yeah, dairy was 2018. And then alcohol was July of 2022, 2019 or 2020. It was 2 years last year. Why do I say that? I say that because one of the things that I think you've mentioned is you feel the difference in your body. You may not, people may see you and may not see the difference, but you actually feel the difference in it. And there's a different energy about you. But one of the things that my challenges, and I'm asking you for, like, what would you say to a person that's having these challenges is, there's two things I really love: chicken wings and sugar. And I say this because so many people try to, I'm known as a person who just goes cold turkey, right? Like, I just stopped drinking. I just stopped eating this.
I feel it. I feel that.
How can we get to a space where we, like, what was your strategy to say, you know what? Did you ease off, or did you just go straight cold turkey? What would you say to people who have those challenges?
Jamal, you and I have a lot in common, I think, when it comes to just, I'm going for it and I'm going cold turkey. I think it's a mixture of two. So I'll talk about the practice of yoga quickly again, in that yoga is about a patience. It teaches you how to journey inward. It teaches you about having a patience and acceptance, how to be passionate about your decisions, and how to be compassionate as well. So I think with the practice of yoga, it was saying, I'm not going to just be vegan or, not cut out the chicken and the sugar just because they do it. It's about, how do I feel in this pose? Because the one thing about yoga, unlike, because I used to like kickbox and do things like that, is that you can't muscle through yoga. You either can do a split, honey, or you can't. You can either get to that Dharma dog, where there's hamstrings are going to yank you back and let you know, baby girl, that's not for you today. That's not in your ministry today. And so it was this balance of, I know what I want and I'm going to ride that wave until I get it, but I'm going to be compassionate about how I get there. I'm going to be gentle with how I get there. So I always talk about, and the two are very related, is that when you're trying to make changes within your person, within your physical, your earth suit, as I call it, your earth suit, is that you have to have that conversation with yourself. So I find that when I had the conversation and said, what is my why of giving up sugar? Well, you know what? I don't like feeling bloated. I don't like to feel horrible in this downward dog. I don't like to feel like every day at 5 o'clock when I'm in this downward dog, I am countering it by eating the sugar and the dairy. So in my mind, it made sense that this is the option for me, because my body wants it and my mind wants it. So it makes sense to allow the two to align. And so it became extremely easy to just, okay, this makes sense. This is the journey that I'm on. This is, I kind of willed it to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. And mind you, you do make it seem much easier than probably me, but I take it. And I think I will say, first off, Sherry stalks everybody, so of course she follows you. How can people like myself in the audience get in contact and follow you and so on? Because I think your journey is one that is helpful. It's helpful. And I think you need to be connecting with helpful people.
Absolutely. So I always joke about this, but I used to not be a social media person, and I think at heart I'm still not. So I have the one platform, which is IG, which is 8@8 ATE.AT. The number 8. I had to think about that. So that's how you can find me. And also my email is attached in my bio. If you go on my Insta, and I get like people like hit me up like, I just love your energy. Like, can you have a great day? And I'm like, can you have an amazing life? Like, thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's like I said, it's a whirlwind. And Jamal, I want to say this. It's funny how when I shifted my energy and gave up certain things, what I garnered in return was tenfold. Like, for the girl who got kicked out of private school, you talk about like disobeying the law and all of that, to think about how I would be 10 years later, being able to impact and lead people and be led as well, because it's one and the same. I believe that my sacrifice, when I give up things like sugar and I give up, TV, because I don't watch TV either, not often anyway. When I give up that, I am creating space to occupy new spaces within myself that I can then give to people and then receive in exchange. So it's this beautiful, again, it's just this beautiful balance of wellness in that way, mind, body, and energy completely.
Tika, thank you so much. This was a good one. I really enjoyed this, and we'll definitely love to have you back again sometime later in the year.
Absolutely.
Thank you for getting us off to a good 2022, good energy. Folks, make sure you go follow Tika, keep up with what she's got going on. Let's learn some stuff from her. All the best. Happy 2022.
Thank you so much, guys. Much love.
No problem. Have a great one.
Bye, Tika.
Tyka Edness, folks. Make sure you go follow her. If you appreciated that conversation, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back to wrap it up. And we've got a little daily play for you as well. And I'll be answering a question from the audience about the competition, about the giveaway.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security. There's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thanks again to Tyka Edness. As stated, if you enjoyed that conversation, found it helpful, make sure you give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Linda's for ensuring we're able to do this with you on a regular basis. Sherry, it's time for the Daily Play brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Are you ready?
I'm taking on Tika's energy right now, so let's see if it
All right.
helps.
I'm going to give you some Tyka energy back. Folks, help her out. She may not need your help. Here's the question. Who did Luther Vandross duet with in the 1992 single, The Best Things in Life Are Free?
Not Patti LaBelle. The best thing. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. The best thing.
I'll ask you one more time.
Know,
who did Luther Vandross duet with in the 1992 single, The Best Things in Life Are Free?
It's not Patti LaBelle. It's not Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. Mariah Carey? No. It's the best thing.
You had it right with the last name of one person.
Janet Jackson.
It is. Sheikah got it. It was Janet Jackson. Single with. Yeah.
I could only hear his part in my head.
It's all good. It's all good. You were close.
I could only hear his part.
I would have guessed Mariah. Honestly, I would have guessed Mariah. I was like, I would have said that. I would have, if you asked me this question, I would have definitely said Mariah. I thought Mariah. But the song I was thinking about, I think Mariah did with him was Endless Love. I think that was the one that they did.
I thought either him or Beyonce, either her or Beyonce did that.
No, Beyonce did something way late. She wasn't even around when Endless Love. Mariah.
Okay.
What was the one they did? Luther and Beyonce. I can't even remember.
Yeah, but nonetheless.
Yeah. Folks, don't forget. So to answer a question, it came through earlier, and it came yesterday. How many times can you submit an answer? You can submit an answer as many times as you'd like. It's only one right answer, but you can submit it as many times as you like. All right. So there you go. Final thoughts on today's show, Sherry?
Do we need to release the body cam footage? No, not to me. And not in this particular case. As far as Tikka, life, love, energy, just go check her out. She is so cool, so positive. and definitely a page that you need to follow for inspiration and motivation.
You know, I will say I disagree. I think that the police should remove all doubt with releasing the body cam, but I completely understand why they're not. As far as Tikka, folks, I know it may sound easy the way she speaks, but it's actually not. It becomes easy when you change your mindset. That's when it becomes easy. So first you have to work on your mindset. The truth is, a lot of the foods that we eat, our body is so used to them because of what we were given as children. And so if you never had chips or sugary drinks, you wouldn't want them. Your body wouldn't want them, you know. So I'm no expert at this. I can only speak from my own experience. I don't give advice. I'm no like doctor or nutritionist, but what I will say, what's worked for me probably won't work for others. Our bodies are different, our mindset is different. You know, some people could give up chicken like that. Me, I love a good fried chicken wing.
Lemon pepper.
See, you can't get me on that. It's got to be spicy for me. I don't do no lemon. Chicken and lemon goes with fish. That's why I don't get.
Gosh,
she's Americanized, folks. She's Americanized. Lemon pepper, she's Americanized.
Yeah, Americanized buffalo, spicy.
No,
Let's
I'm the
get
buffalo.
some.
Buffalo is regular. Give me some inspiration, lady. Come on.
Yeah, let's go with inspiration. History has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own. Who said that, Jamal?
I don't know. You're going to tell us.
Flotus, Michelle Obama.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, not Ivanka. That's not his wife. What's that lady name?
Ivanka.
No, what's his wife name? Mariana or something? Trump's wife.
Biden's? No, I thought, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
but
beside the point.
You can remember Hillary and all the others. Yeah. Look, folks. Let's say we've got to run, but I want to before we go, this was bothering me, the song that Beyonce had with Luther Vandross. Some people said in the audience it wasn't Dancing with My Father. My sister, the better sister.
The closer I get to you.
The closer I get to you, it was.
The better sister, Marcia. I just realized.
Oh, you just realized what I said? You just realized what I said? That's Sherry's sister, folks. So she's my sister. Just a little shit. Bobby Painter says, how come I don't get the notifications when you go live anymore? I don't know, Barbie. That's probably because when people don't watch every day, they probably don't get the notification. So you have to go back to watching every day on Facebook. But you can always go to YouTube and you will get the notifications if you hit subscribe and the notifications bell. All right. But yeah, folks. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a great day. And parents.
Friday, not tomorrow.
Oh, yes, sorry. We will be back on Friday. No show tomorrow. Friday. Thank you, Sherry. I keep forgetting this. Friday. So you have 2 letters. Yesterday and today. Friday, you'll get your next letter. Sherry, see you on Friday.